Right now we are in the midst of perhaps the most flavorful time to ever drink. It is inevitable that people's palates will become fatigued by these incredibly strong flavors. We're already starting to sort of pull back and look for things that are flavored a little bit more delicately, that are flavored a little bit more thoughtfully, things that you actually have to listen to a little bit more closely. My name is Jim Meehan. I'm the managing partner at PDT, where we are right now in New York City's East Village. I've been a bartender for 19 years. PDT is a bar that you enter through an unmarked door in a hot dog stand through a phone booth. The East Village has really sort of become the cocktail epicenter of New York City as far as concentration of great cocktail bars, and it's really sort of helped grow this community in a major way. If you look back at the history of Prohibition in America, you will find a time which really revolutionized our social culture. You know, men and women drinking in the same place of all different ethnicities and backgrounds. It really sort of democratized the bar room. But what you won't find is delicious cocktails. The best bartenders in America were forced to move to Europe. They moved to Paris and to London. The craft of the cocktail kind of fell apart in the US. So in many ways, the renaissance of the cocktail parallels the renaissance of this great brand that rose to meteoric success based off of its success and introduction during Prohibition. Cutty Sark sort of became obviously one of the most famous and most called for whiskeys during Prohibition in New York. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. A cocktail is as delicious as its weakest or least interesting ingredient. So from the very beginning here at PDT, we've picked the finest spirits, the finest mixers, the rarest bitters, and the most interesting fortified wines to mix into our cocktails. Some people may scoff at the notion of mixing a great whiskey into a cocktail, but for me that's crazy. Scotch whiskey brings so many different flavor profiles to the table, and being able to harmonize those in a mixed drink is something that can be challenging at times. I think what's exciting about what's happened during the modern cocktail renaissance is how bartenders have sort of unshackled themselves from historic recipes, but there aren't a lot of historic Scotch cocktails to work with. So for the modern mixologist, it's an amazing category to get into because there's history to be made.